Okay, back for page 2. This is on the next page in your packet. So, similar figures, more notes. Given two figures are similar, corresponding sides must be in proportion. Therefore, we can write a proportion and find the missing side length of one of the figures. So it gives us some information here, and again, I did the same thing. I tried to figure out what sides go with what sides and labeled them. And this is why I said you might need 4 colors, because I have 4 different. So I have my orange here, my orange here. Those 2 sides are proportional. PQ is proportional to UT. And you're probably wondering, well, how do I figure this out? Well, one, I can tell by looking at it, but it's not always that easy. It tells me up here, PQRS is similar to TUVW. So that means PQ is similar to TU. So PQ, I did it in purple, and TU right here is in purple. So I looked at the first 2 here. And then you can say QR is similar to UV, and QR, those were the orange, and then RS and VW, yeah, so the last 2, RS and VW. So RS and VW I did in green, and then that just left the last line that I made blue. So given that these 2 shapes, quadrilaterals, are similar, write a proportion for the length of PS. And I circled this X here. So how do we figure this out? Well, I have enough information with the 2 that I have highlighted in green to find out what the scale factor is. So this one I did, this was A, I labeled it A, just made it up, and I labeled this one B. So if I do A to B, and you could do B to A, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't for right now. Eventually it will matter because we'll be talking about image and pre-image. I can't remember if that's in this packet though, but right now I just care that you could label one and the other and get your scale factor. So 35 over 25, and I simplified that and got 7/5. Now I have something that is much easier to work with when figuring out my proportions. So I need to know what X is, and it corresponds with TW. So if I put X first, because it's A, my first figure, X is at the top, then B would be 15, and then you just set it equal to K. The scale factor 7/5. And what I did was then just solve for X. So one thing I want to really stress about this is make sure you're always starting with the same figure. If I did X over 15 equals 5 over 7, I'm not starting with the same figure. I'm going from here to here on the first one and then here to here on the second one, and that's a no-no. Huge no-no. Just no to the no. No. And solve for X, you cross multiply. Kind of looks like, mine's not very neat, but a butterfly. So 5 times X on one side of the equal sign and 7 times 15, and that's what I wrote out. 7 times 15 is 105. Divide both sides by 5 and you get 21. So that's how I use scale factor to find missing parts of these shapes. Number 2, again, I used the information given to me. IJK is similar to LMN. And since it's telling me it's given that these are similar, I can look at IJ and LM. So IJ in green and LM in green. And then JK and MN. So JK, I did JK and MN in purple. And that left the orange sides. In this case, I did number 1. This is triangle 1 and this is triangle 2. Again, consistency. A or B, you can do them C, D, I don't care, as long as you're always starting with one triangle and ending with the other. So if I'm starting with this first one, 54 goes in the top, And the one that corresponds, this is purple, so over here purple, that's 42. So 54 over 42 simplifies to 9/7. So I'll use, that's my K factor, that equals K. So using my K, I can figure out what angle X is. So angle X, side X corresponds with ML. So IJ and ML. So 9/7 corresponds to X over 28. And that gives me X actually equals, it can't be right, 7X equals 252. Let me get my calculator. It just can't equal 28. Ugh. Okay, so 9 times 28 is 252 divided by 7 is 36. Okay, see, I knew I did something wrong there. Where's my whiteout? You guys know I have my whiteout. So this would be X is 36. And I can find Y the same way. So 9 is to 7 as Y is to 35. See, I'm matching the two orange ones up now. And that gives me 7Y equals 315, so Y equals 45. And that is number 2. Number 3, this one's tricky because one, it's a word problem. 2, it tells me if a 36-inch yardstick casts a 21-foot shadow. Well, this is in inches and this is in feet, so I just converted the 36 inches to 3 feet. Much easier to have them both in feet than working with doing 21 times 12 for inches. And so it says draw a picture of the two similars. So I drew them. And so it says a 30-inch yardstick. So here's my 3-foot yardstick right here. Casts a 21-foot shadow. So here's my shadow. And then in orange, I did the hypotenuse. How tall is a building whose shadow is 168 feet? So it wants to know, here's my building. And here's my yardstick. So I can use the proportions. 3 is to X. And I didn't label them. I mean, I labeled this as 1 and this is 2. So 3 feet is to X. I start back at the original triangle as 21 feet is to 168 feet. And you solve that, cross multiply, you get 24 feet. Again, remember, you can pause this at any time to copy after I explain. The fourth one, the last one on this page, it says Sam wants to enlarge a triangle with sides 3, 6, and 6 inches. Well, right now, 3, 6, and 6 inches tells me equilateral triangle. But the shortest side of the new triangle is 13 inches. So I'm going to say this is the new triangle and this is the old triangle. So Sam wants to enlarge a triangle, 3 and 6. There's my old triangle. And the new triangle, the bottom side is going to be 13. How big are these sides going to be? Well, I just did a proportion. 6 is to 3. As X is to 13. You can do it that way too. Trying to think if there was, yeah. And that's a little different. So I did proportions for the same triangle, but if I did it the other way, like new is to old, 3 is to 13 equals, let's see, 6 is to X. I would still have the same thing. So I'd end up with 3x equals 78, x equals 26. So this is using the scale factor like I did before. So this is the way I would actually do it. I think what I did it before, I just wasn't thinking and being consistent. But you can set up proportions other ways. So there is page 2. Where am I at the video? I'm at 10 minutes. Okay, so homework. I did in the packet the whole left side of page 3. And these are just, at least here you get it in color a little bit. But I labeled A and B, and so 10 is to 15 as X is to 24, and solve my proportion. And I did that all the way down. So you have a copy of this in your packet. Now this actually is a notes page. Can you see that? No. Of course I forgot the A in page. So this is a notes page. And the reason I gave it to you this way is so you could look further in the packet where there is no work done, and then you can practice with the the odds on this side, and then you can work with the evens. And then the rest of the pages, I don't know, did I give you any more pages with work done on it? So page 3 in the notes will match page 3 later on in the packet. And I may have even given you a ton. What did I give you? I don't even remember. Let's see, exploring similar figures. So yeah, 3 through 7. So there's the notes that I gave you. And then there's more notes. You have to pass by all the notes. And I lost the rest of my packet. I have like 3 or 4 stacks of paper and I can't keep them straight. So anyways, you have enough to at least get you through page 7 now of the packet. And that's where I'm going to end it. I think what's after it is dilations guided notes. And I'll do that in another video. But at least this is enough to get you started. I'll have the next video up by Tuesday to help you finish most, if not the rest of the packet. I think there's one more thing near the end. And you just saw some answers, so hopefully that helps you too. But that is my similar figures packet. So hopefully that was helpful, and you can always replay these videos. More coming soon.